So the topic I did my research on was the antimicrobial resistance and ways to combat them using modern science and the medicine and using novel ways. So the main reason I got into this topic was when my mom got diagnosed with a severe bowel infection when she was pregnant. So she wasn't able to take most of the antibiotics because the bacterial strand was almost resistant to all of them. So this made me aware of how severe the pandemic was and how unaware people were to it and how they are contributing to it. So first, I would like to discuss the mechanisms of how antibacterial drug resistance occurs. So the bacteria acquires a mutation in their DNA that gives them a new protein as a tool to fight the antibiotic. So this can be in the form of the efflux pump that can pump the antibiotic out of the cell, which can be seen in number 1, or number 2, which is the permeability barrier that prevents the antibiotic from entering the cell. It could also be in the form of number 3, which is the enzymatic modification of antibiotics, so it no longer performs its intended function. Also number 4, the alternation in the target sites of antibiotics. And finally, number 5, which is the enzymatic modification of antibiotics, so it no longer binds to the enzyme. So the first alternative technique I wrote my research about was phage therapy. So phage therapy uses phages, which is also known as bacteriografts. They are viruses that solely kill and selectively target harmful bacteria in the human body. They do that by squeezing their tail and inserting their genetic information in a bacteria, which within a few minutes, it forces it to manufacture new phages. These phages then produce endolysin, which is a powerful enzyme that punctures the bacteria and causes it to burst. So when the bacteria bursts, the phages in it go to other bacteria and also burst it. So this is called the lysis cycle. And we can see the tail of the phage therapy is here. So an important fact to know about the phage therapy is some trials have been done on it, and it proved to be successful, especially in treating superbugs, which are the antibiotics that are resistant to almost all types of antibiotics. And also main factor in it is that the bacteria cannot form any resistance toward it because it will counteract this resistance with manipulating its genetic coding. And also a fun fact is when bacteria when it does want to develop a full resistance toward phage therapy, it will have to remove its resistance toward antibiotics. So it's a win-win situation for us. Now, the second alternative technique was that of viral vaccines. So the vaccine can regulate the emergence and spread of AMR both directly and indirectly, as a vaccine against a given bacterial pathogen reduces the prevalence of resistant pathogens as well as antibiotic use. Now, the best example of this is the pneumococcal vaccine, which is thought to be 50 to 70% effective toward preventing pneumococcal diseases. But this is not the only disease that it can affect. It can also treat with a high efficiency and effectiveness the smallpox and the influenza and also the rotavirus over the years in counteract with antibiotics that have a hard time producing things to counteract the diseases. Now, the main problem that arises is vaccines cannot replace antibiotics in everything, as antibiotics are used to treat, are used in surgeries performed such as C-sections and also in treatments such as chemotherapy. So resistance can occur from this. Okay, the final remark I want to make is that the most important way to spread this disease is you. You can first start by limiting your ingestion of antibiotics, as taking antibiotics without a proper cause can cause resistance, which can then spread from country to country and region to region, so it's very harmful. And I also like to take this time to talk about my mentor, Dr. Helena Severak. She was a very she was a very sweet person. She was also very knowledgeable about most aspects of research and really helped me a lot in doing my research. She also introduced me to sites such as Zotero, which helped in my citation a lot. She is also currently working on research topics related to eliminating antimicrobial resistance, and she was able to talk to me a little about them and really grew in me the excitement toward becoming